Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Rams going up against the Seahawks.
Set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. In his third season, leading him out, the former third-round pick, Garrett Grayson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They go play action here on first down. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Grayson now. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Earl Thomas has the speed, quickness, and skills to be a cornerback in the NFL, and I think he would have been a good one. But playing in the middle of this field as a free safety, I think he's the best eraser in the NFL. Takes care of any mistakes that happen in front of him and hardly ever lets anything get over his head.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now Grayson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
It's Johnny Hecker now, an All-Pro 3 of the last 4 years on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And incomplete to open things up.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. On to attempt the extra point. And it's now a 7-2 ball game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 16 carries, 62 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week. It's a pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
6 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Let's go.
From the pistol, it's Gurley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Let's go.
They'll go with Procise. And some room to run now. There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. C.J. Procise, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Update now from and now it's blocked. And on that long run, maybe the defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 20, but he'll get no further as he's brought down within sight of the goal line inside the 20. But all he'll get is knowledge that the extra point was no good.
You and I have not met a coaching staff yet that likes to coach negative situations. You know, even plant that in their head. But you have to work on what happens if you get an extra point blocked, because now they can pick it up and return it for 2 points. You have to go over that.
Nice job to get back there and make the tackle, preventing them from getting all the way. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help the pass.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jalen Reed in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job. And
that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Room here to run. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On first down, Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Samson Abukum able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Now Wilson on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Carry now for Gurley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Let's go. Green, 35.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. To throw again. Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Slot man moves right.
19.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. They'll run it now out of the gun. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out How are we going to slow down this running game? Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, this is going to be a good one. The Cowboys and the Raiders going at it in the East Bay.
Oh, that's old school right there.
Old school indeed. Then Monday night, another good late-season matchup. The Falcons and the Buccaneers from Tampa to wrap up Week 15. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. The Rams on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw, and that is incomplete.
They always say the real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. You got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering since we've gone from 12 to 14.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Richardson. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And some room to maneuver. Seattle. A big play there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you across the country, we now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice?
Wilson on 1st down. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Play clock winding down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And some room to work. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Second down now after the pass completion. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
The play clock's running down. Wilson now to throw on third down. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
On third and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a first down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers? A really nice run.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Connor Barwin with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And running with power here. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Mike Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Elsewhere, a third-quarter score. The Patriots have moved out in front in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Play fake. He'll look to throw. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They'll run it now out of the gun. Twisting away. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Rams on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Grayson now. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Sanders has it over the middle. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now Grayson. And he's got room. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. Looking to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And now it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here we go. 3-19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play. Or you don't.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Oh, he stays up. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
The forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
On 3rd down, that's Carson. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Here's John Ryan now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Oh, here come the Rams, and they get it. It's blocked. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit.
They'll try and run it with Gurley. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Fourth quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get one more play in.
Be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They go again with Davis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why they're points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Here's Davis now. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be a third and about 13.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But Charles